Yo, move out the way. We got Missy Elliott coming through here.
That is Missy Elliott. She lost a lot of weight. I heard she eat one cracker a day.
Girl, well, I heard the bitch was married to Tim and started fucking with Trina.
Well, I heard the bitch got hit by 3 zebras and a monkey. I can't stand the bitch nowhere.
When I walk up in the piece, I ain't gotta eat speed. I'm a bad man, but Gemma goddamn it, motherfucker, you ain't gotta like me. I ain't studying these hoes. Need to talk what you know. And stop talking about who I'm sticking and licking, just mad at they chose. I know y'all pull, y'all broke. Y'all job just hanging up close. Step to me, get burnt like toast. Motherfuckers, adios amigos. Half, post. I don't brag, I mostly boast. From the VA to the LA coast. Is it, go.
Guys, good evening to you all. Thanks for tuning in to episode 20 of this thing we call a Modcast, which is like a podcast, except it's with the little twist I added to it called a Modcast. Guys, I want to introduce to you one of my buddies I met at TwitchCon 2K16. His name is Red 5 Drifter and my co-host Killer Spark. Guys, welcome to the show. How are you all doing?
I'm good.
Good.
Welcome, Red.
Red, welcome. It's
Pleasure,
about time.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
about
the first time I heard you say this, I'm like, man, I can't wait for this guy to ask me so I can ask him a bunch of questions on the spot instead.
Oh man, I wouldn't even know how to even I'll be like a different environment for me. I enjoy doing this stuff, but yeah, if you put me in that situation, I'd gladly be there, dude. Definitely.
Nice. Glad to hear that, sir.
Dude, welcome to the show. Welcome, Matt, Killer Spark 8. How you doing, man?
I'm good.
He's the guy that is the silhouette in the dark of that room. Look at that.
You almost made him lose
The
it
light's
there.
broken.
You know, that's what makes us viral stars. If he just spit a little bit of water onto the camera, that would have been nice.
It's the light. It's not my fault.
Dude. But we're happy to really finally have Red 5 Drifter onto our show. We try to make it a weekly show, but sometimes schedules kind of like hurt us. So, dude, I hope we aren't taking too much time from your broadcast, because I know you usually broadcast around this time.
No, sir, you are not. Like I said, for me, just getting back, my feet in the water again. There's no set time. It's just, hey, I'll show up and hopefully people will come by and, just grace me with their presence is how I look at it. So
That's awesome, man. Awesome. And so how did we meet again? Do you remember that faithful moment?
I do. So this was TwitchCon of last year, 2016, and we were all in line, sort of just waiting to check out different areas. And then I believe Tater came up and he says, hey, I met some really cool guys, and I think they would fit well with this group that we have here. And I'm like, oh, yeah, well, and Tater and I, since upon meeting, we've been like close brothers is how I would definitely put it.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, yeah, man, I definitely trust your judgment. So, and I met you guys, and I think we're getting just kind of ready to check out some of the different games and see what transpires from there. I believe World War Toons was something we're all waiting in line to try and do. So.
Oh, I definitely remember World War Toons. I remember getting sick on that game. Yeah, I remember that. Definitely.
Nice. Yeah, I mean, and so it's just, I think there's that saying where we as people tend to attract people like ourselves. And so I think that was just one of those situations, because upon me, talking to you, you're so positive. That's like, when I think of you, that's your biggest trait ever is you're always so positive. And I'm like, I'm waiting to see this guy like totally pissed off.
Oh,
I'm waiting for
thank you,
him to
man.
like just rage on camera, because he's always so nice.
Oh, thanks, man. Much appreciated. You should
I'm
watch
waiting for that day
me.
too.
Oh, Matt, you should watch me play Donkey Kong Country, and I will let the real me out. You'll see.
Lion
But-
King.
Oh, that was another one too. Oh God, games are the only thing that would probably press my buttons all weird. But I try to be nice because you guys are cool. So like, I don't know. I thought it was awesome meeting you guys as a group. It's I mean, honestly, yeah. If it wasn't for Tate, like he kind of introduced everyone. He grabbed us, like he took us with him wherever we went. I met you. I met Unclean Ramen, Morpheus, Norina. Apparently, we never met, but she was in our Twitter handles or whatever. So, I mean, she was cool people too, and I didn't know that was connection with you guys. So, it was awesome. You guys were positive yourselves. You guys had that awesome like I don't know. The first impressions always counted, and you guys always were welcome. So I totally appreciate that.
Yeah, absolutely, man. And I didn't even know like Norino was part of our whole shindig. Tater, man, one of his biggest things was, man, I gotta like meet some people when I go here. I gotta just get out of my shell because he's a pretty shy guy and very introverted. And I told him at the beginning of the trip, I'm like, look, man, you're here amongst people like yourselves at the end of the day. So what do you got to lose? Go hang out, talk to people, see what happens. And then boom, there you are. It's a perfect example of it right here. Just some good people, building a friendship and, seeing what else can transpire after that.
Yeah. And it's kind of still hard to imagine him being, I don't know, if this is not Tater's norm. He seemed like it that day because he was just awesome. Actually, yeah, he was stoked that I took a picture with him, and like, yeah, and seeing him on stream now, I did not know he had hair, so it just threw me off. But that's Tate for you, man. He's a good guy. He's a totally good guy, and let's get on to you. So, I know you've been on the Twitch scene. What happened? Something happened? I hear.
Nope.
Oh, okay. I'm tripping. I
Oh.
thought I heard something. There's Matt. Yeah, like I was just wondering how long you've been in the Twitch scene, because when I met you, you actually stopped your streaming, right? So let's get to that. So what was that all about? Can you explain?
Yeah. So I wanted to start streaming back when I was first playing Dota 2, and just wanted to stream a guy who had no idea what he was doing, trying to learn how to play the game and see, how well you can just kind of, progress and go from there. But I lacked the computer, like the power to do so. So I just saved up money and I was like, hey, I'm gonna build a machine that's good enough for streaming. And then I went from there. But after that, I had just stopped playing Dota 2, and I was like, man, I gotta find something that's just interesting that's just for me. So I found a game on Steam called it's got like vampires and humans. It's based off of the Legacy of Kain world.
Whoa.
Unfortunately, I cannot remember its name. It was like a third person PvP type of game, and I was just streaming that nonstop. And I had tried that. I met some people from there. I got my first host from doing that.
Nice.
And then it just kind of progressed from there. And then I just started, trying to figure out what can I do right to try and grow this channel and go from there, and not look at numbers and
Yeah.
statistics for the most part.
Yeah.
And so that's what I started to do. And unfortunately, it's just one of those things that you put in your time, your effort, and your hard-earned money in there. And I felt that I wasn't getting back what I was putting in to the show at the time.
Oh, okay. I get it. Mm-hmm.
So it was just, I sat there and I had a bunch of coins, and I'm like, all right, I'm just gonna flip a coin, heads, tails. No, it wasn't anything like that.
It's like, oh, done.
Yup.
Hands. Ah, damn it, I lost.
Yeah, I was like, damn it, but no, I had a serious conversation with some people, and at the end of the day, it was just like, look, if you're not happy, that's going to show up on your channel, no matter who you are, whether you're a, big person or just, someone small that's starting out. If you're not enjoying yourself, what you're trying to show that you're supposed to be enjoying,
Yeah.
then there's really no point in doing it. Um, so I did stop, and I had made the Wednesday before, like 2 days before TwitchCon was my last day.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I just found it odd because, like, dude, if you were at TwitchCon and you just stopped streaming, it's like, well, what does this all mean? But
Right.
you recently came back. You are on what of this new year? Day 10,
I think
11 or
it's like,
something?
yeah, today will be like day 11. Since it hasn't been that long. So
Dude, you cannot let that sweet voice go to waste, man. You cannot.
Brings up a question
Dude.
I have.
Yes, sir.
Have you ever thought about like voice acting?
Yeah,
Because
there
you
you
have a
go.
really good voice.
thank you, sir. I was told that I should do that, but it wasn't until the first guy that had hosted me from that vampire game, when I started hanging out around with him and his channel, I got into their vent and people heard me talk, and they're like, now mind you, I was using some very cheap Logitech headphones,
Yeah.
and one of the ears was broken, and so I still had even more of sort of like a even more raspy sounding voice at the time, because the headphones sort of uh, was causing problems, and people heard the voice and they're like, whoa, is somebody trying to sound like Batman? And I'm like, no, man,
That's what they said.
my regular voice, and people are like, what? So I I got pulled aside by one of the guys. He's like, hey man, you should really invest in a mic. And I said, if I'm going to take streaming seriously, I definitely should do that. So I went out to Music City like the next weekend or something, and I got a pop filter and I bought a Blue Yeti, and I turned it on, and people like just lost their shit. Excuse me for my language.
No, go
They just
ahead.
lost their
We
mind.
this is be yourself here.
Yeah, they just lost their mind. They're like, "Holy crap, who is that?" And it's flattering, but I've
Yeah.
never honestly seriously put any thought into it, because it's only since I've been streaming, since people started saying, "Hey, you should look into this."
I get you. Okay.
Dude, you could get so many jobs off this. You could be one, a phone sex operator, which will give you much money. Two, you will have the streaming voice. Three, you could be a radio host. You could do a lot, dude. The world's your oyster, my friend. What you have this talent. You could even
can.
be a different Batman, like the guy said.
Right.
Which who was this
Right.
guy trying to be Batman? But
That's what I was gonna say. Look at that. You already have Batman down with a Logitech mic. I
Right.
mean, just imagine.
yeah, dude, I could imagine him just having his own slow jam station on Twitch, like at 12 of midnight, while he reads love letters to all the fans that write him, and
I'd watch that.
dude, I'd watch that. I just, dude, you got me excited, man.
I've thought about like a Sunday show where it's like, there's that old radio station called Loveline with
Yes.
yeah, like that. So basically, people would call in and be like, "Hey, Red, I need some like love advice." I'm like, look, I'm not a real doctor or anything, but I would just give you my honest to God opinion on things, and then like you could donate for me to read something off, like like ingredients off like the Colgate bottle or something, just the toothpaste or something.
That's
I could
another idea
imagine.
is that I
Oh.
would totally listen to you read a book. I hate listening to audiobooks, but I would listen to you read a book.
Did you hear? Killer Spark will pay you money to
Killer's
be
got
the
a good
voice.
though, too.
Killer does, man. He's how old are you, Killer? You still have,
19.
dude. You still have a lot of time to develop that voice, cause,
Yes,
dude,
we'll grow into that as well.
I want
That's
to
gonna be-
exactly. I want to say Red 5 and me are almost about the same age, and people will be surprised if to find out how old we are, right?
That is true.
I was.
That is true.
Dude, I want to see in chat to see if they could guess how old our ages are, and if they guess it right, should we do a giveaway just for the hell of it? I'll buy you something free on Steam for $5 or something. So yeah, try to guess, dude. I
Yeah.
try. Sad.
Be nice.
Be nice. Too bad
Right.
you're excluded, Killer Spark, because you're on the show already, so you can't do
I know this. I'm just
it.
be nice.
Oh, DD already has an answer. Oh, anyways, so how? Okay, did you have friends? Okay, I know you were telling about how you got starting stuff. Was this something you saw yourself doing, like pretty much like, oh, I'm gonna play games and talk to people on the internet? So like, I don't know, what did you see yourself getting to Twitch, or what did you want to do with this?
I guess for me, I wanted to be discovered, and when I talk to you, I'll always tell you like the honest to God truth, no matter how weird it sounds. You know, I wanted to use this as a medium, other avenues. You know, whether it being my art, whether it be my voice, hell, whether it's just like, hey, you want to be a part of a group of people that gets together and play games. Um, that I was just trying to use it as a bridge to get me to other places, and putting myself out there, and mostly seeing it. One of the biggest things I strive on, as I just said, it is being upfront and honest about things, and especially on Twitch, you need to be honest with your viewers,
Yeah.
with the people around you, because people are very, very smart, and
Oh yeah.
you got to give people a lot of credit because they will figure out things very easily, or get a group together
Yeah.
and figure things out. And so
Oh yeah.
you've got to be careful. You definitely have to be careful. But I just wanted it to be a way so I can get in contact with developers, folks like yourself who share a common interest and move forward like that. Because in my everyday life, I'm not surrounded by artistic people.
Yeah.
I'm not surrounded by developers or anything like that. And so this is the for me a fantastic tool, get to meet these people, to interact,
Yeah.
and just keep seeing what happens, as they say.
Yeah, I like that. I totally like that. Guys, in case you guys didn't know, he is also artistic. This guy, when you stopped streaming, all I had to go by was your old broadcast, right? And I ran into your your creative broadcast, and you were drawing and stuff like that. So I thought, wow, how could this guy just stop streaming? This guy has so much talent to share with the world. So I'm glad you're back,
Thank
I'm
you.
glad you are back. So okay, the creative aspect. How long have you been drawing for?
Let's see. As far as I can remember, I've been drawing since I was 3, and someone who was close to our age right now. So, just if that gives you any sort of perspective of how long I've been drawing, um, I remember just sitting on the floor near the kitchen. My mom was taking a shower, and I had these little, like, I don't know if you remember those old books. They were kind of like little mice and different animals, but they were made out of almost like cardboard, like really thick cardboard that you flip through the pages, and they were glossy and stuff like that. But yeah, it was just one of those, and I just started drawing what was in the book, and then I just realized, like, whoa, I can draw from looking
Yeah,
at something,
yeah,
you know.
yeah. See, that's cool. Like, how were you when you were a little kid, if you don't mind me asking? How was life? Did you have a lot of brothers and sisters? Did you just like were y'all into video games when you're a wee lad? Or how was that?
Well, so I grew up. I was born in the States, but I grew up in a place called Trinidad and Tobago. It's in the Caribbean. If you go look at, there's a tiny boot-shaped country right above Venezuela, and so that's where my family's from. And I grew up there for a little while. Growing up there, I was an only child till I was 5, and then my sister just kind of came along after that point. But I do have like 2 brothers. I've got some half brothers,
Yeah.
but we never were all on the same page at all. I have an older brother and a younger brother.
Huh.
He left and went to Florida, and so I barely knew the guy. And then my younger brother, he was more, he had his friends that he would hang around with, and so I just found myself doing a lot of things I used just keep to myself. But I remember the first time I got a Nintendo.
Yeah.
I was just blown away by it because my cousins, they had like my older uncles and stuff, they had an Atari, but I didn't get much time on it. So it wasn't until I actually got a Nintendo did video games really like just protrude itself into my mind, and I was like, holy crap, stuff is amazing. Where has this been all my life, kind of thing.
Nice, nice. That's awesome. So I take it that's what bit you. You got into the game bug.
Yes, sir, that is true. That is true. Just that first Mario Brothers and playing Contra and Blades of Steel, just and being from the Caribbean, where not everybody had a Nintendo. You'd have to be
Yeah.
very, very fortunate to have one of those. And I wasn't the first kid to have one. There was a kid down the block. His name was Frankie. His parents were from New York,
Yeah.
and so he was staying there with his grandmother, and so he would fly back and forth during the summertime, and he would just come back with all these Nintendo games, and I'm like, what in the world? So
Oh man, that's crazy. So you're from Trinidad?
yeah, so my folks are from there. I was born here in Minnesota, and then I stayed here till I was 5, and I moved there to meet my parents because I was living with my grandparents at the time.
Mm-hmm.
So my parents didn't necessarily want to move here because their lives were down there, and so I lived down there till I was 15.
Wow. What'd you learn over there, man? Did you know the language or
It's the same thing. It's so I can talk in a different accent.
Can you do
And
it? We want to hear. We want to do the rest of the podcast in your accent, dude.
if you think of like a Jamaican accent, that's basically what it's like. There's a lot of broken and certain words are joined together. I can give you an example of that. So here, when people are talking and they come up and they're like, "Hey man, what's happening today?" Or "How's it going today?" Things like that. Down, everything is joined. So you're like, "Hey Brad, how you doing, man? What's happening? How things?" You know,
Oh, that's cool.
yeah, you just kind of branch things together and their own words for certain things, um, and it's just all around. I'm blessed to have been brought up there because I learned the value of culture,
Yeah.
the value of having the littlest things that matter at the end of the day.
That's
Things that I
awesome.
feel a lot of people take for granted.
Damn, that's man. I need to learn your accent. Like boom baclat, pasta ducci, pasta ducci. Yeah, that would be
Yep.
sick. But that's amazing though. And then, man, who in your family has the voice, dude? You have,
Yeah.
yeah. I'm. Uh-oh. Audio's out. Audio's. Yeah, your audio.
How about
Yeah.
now?
Here we go.
Okay.
All right, sorry about that.
It's all good.
I'm not sure, to be honest with you. My dad doesn't talk this deep, and yeah, it could have been my mom. I don't know. No,
Your mom? It's like, damn, your mom makes me wet. Yeah. Damn. That's just crazy.
I'm not sure, to be honest with you. I think people say when you develop a level of patience in life, you begin to kind of slow yourself down to appreciate the things around you. And when I started doing that, like my whole lifestyle just sort of changed, and everything changed from the way I talked to how I approach sentences, and because I still struggle with certain context, how to form sentences, just because growing up somewhere for 15 years talking a particular way,
Yeah.
it takes some time to break those sort of habits. And while they're not bad habits, it's just uh, um, so for example,
Yeah.
when in the Caribbean, when you count to 3, you say 1 2 3 tree, but people hear tree here and they think of a tree with branches and leaves.
Yeah.
And so they're like, wait, what are you talking about? That's not how you say three. Because I'm not the H. And so it throws people off.
See.
Also, how I spell certain words because that country was under British rule. So they everything that they have by from how they speak and how they were taught certain ways of spelling is
Yeah.
off of British. So British spells like, for example, the word color.
Yeah.
They spell it differently than how the United States would spell it. And
Oh.
so there are certain words like that that I've been able to I've had to readjust. So
Wow, that seems like, but you've been here long enough already in the States as well, so like, I mean that's you could control that whenever you want. I mean, it's just like,
yeah, it's been some time now, but it's still something. Sentences forming stuff.
yeah,
I sound way too formal
yeah,
than I actually am trying to be. Only because when you're taught English there, you're taught to speak the Queen's English, and that's what they call it.
yeah,
And so, I'm always thinking about how I'm going to form my next sentence. I'm not trying to sound higher than anybody else or anything like that. It's just, you know, I'm just trying to speak clearly because one of my biggest pet peeves is I hate repeating myself.
oh, I feel you. Okay.
And so that brings me to the accent. So when people would hear the accent, they're like, wait, what did you just say? And I'm like, oh man, I'll just stop talking like that. I'll stop talking like that.
That's crazy, man. It's just amazing. I think you have a lot of knowledge and all that. Like, so you finished school over here in the States, right?
Yes, sir. So when I was 15, I moved back, and my grandparents were living right next to a high school.
Yeah.
My grandmother, she was going to the church of that high school, and so I here for summer vacation, and I said, hey, can I stay here and
Yeah.
go to school here and finish up? And they're like, well, we'd have to do some stuff, but yeah, we will.
Yeah.
So, that's when I decided to stay and went to high school there, graduated. Then I went to the Arts Institute International. They've got schools all over the states. So if you're from California, it would be the Arts Institute, International of LA or San Francisco, San Diego.
Yeah.
Saw a Simpsons. I was watching an episode of Simpsons, and during the commercial break, the school comes on, and they're like, "Yeah, now opening. Come check us out," and things like that. So I did, and I graduated with my associate's degree there, and
Nice.
kind of followed. But the funny story about that is, I had originally went to school for 3D animation. Halfway through my schooling,
Yeah.
I realized I'm like, why have I only had one 3D animation class?
Yeah.
And it's almost like 2 years now.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh crap, we just realized that we put you in the graphic design program.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
So if you need to go into 3D animation, you're going to have to start over besides your generals
Yeah.
and start over. And you'd be in school for another, 2 years. And I'm like, son, man, I don't have that money, and I didn't have the time per se
Yeah.
to start back over again. So
Did you sweet talk your way in? Because you have the voice to sweet talk your way to any class you want. Like, yeah, we're gonna have to fix this little problem here. This is not what I signed up for. Please let me in. I don't know, but which leads me to my next question, right? So how's the love life, man? Because with that voice you got, I hope you don't mind. You could basically have any girl. At least you could start off talking with them on the phone. You could talk to them. You could persuade. You know how you do all that stuff. How's the love life, man? You have the voice for it, so I'm just thinking you have everyone just all after you, dropping panties left and right. I don't know. Oh, audio.
Audio.
all right,
I'm gonna buy you a new mic.
you just need to push the talk. That's all. Or I just need to get some headphones so you guys aren't. If you're not echoing, then I can leave it on. If you're
Oh.
not hearing yourself,
Oh, we're good. I'm
Oh,
yeah.
Oh,
cool. All right, then I'll just leave it on then.
Cool.
Um, For right now, the love life does not exist. I have no problems meeting women. That's not a problem whatsoever, uh, because I've learned to figure out what makes me personally exuberate confidence, and I think
Yeah.
every man needs to be able to do that.
Yeah.
And how do you do that? I can tell you one big thing: whatever you're doing, that you find yourself just lost in the moment. That it's that sort of perception that when you ever see a group of women and they're having a really fun time and you're looking at them, they're laughing, not a care in the damn world, because they're having fun, they're doing what comes natural. And so you as a man need to figure out what that does for you, what it is for you, whether it's playing video games, whether it's just, you're good at like chopping wood or something like that.
Yeah.
That feeling of confidence that you're so damn badass at doing that, you take that mentality and apply it to your everyday life. So that's what I've done with dancing. One of my biggest pastimes. I go every weekend if I can. I go Friday and Saturday nights. I've got my own little place. It's like freaking chairs. People know my name. I come in, and you talk. The problem is that fantastic voices people say, when you're meeting somebody, their voice isn't necessarily the first thing you know about them.
Yeah.
It's their looks, it's their posture, lastly, it's sort of the aura that they give off to people.
Yeah.
If I don't get to that point for talking on the phone or saying hello with my voice, you know, you don't get to melt them as much as you would like to.
Melt them. I love the way you said. Yeah,
Thank
melt
you.
them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but no, women, that's like one of my biggest weaknesses. Love being around them, love having them in the life. Um, as I said, right now, I'm not looking, or I haven't found anybody right now. I'm seeing sort of an open at this time, not really putting a lot of emphasis on looking for one.
That's cool.
Um,
That's
you know,
cool. Yeah.
mostly just been trying to add more friends to the repertoire. But biggest things on my stream that I was flattered was that for a while when I was first starting, I predominantly had more women in the channel than men.
Wow. That is everyone's dream. That's the guy's dream on Twitch.
Right. It was
It's
awesome.
Mark's stream.
Yep. Yeah, exactly. And Nerdist is like the first person in there. And I'm like, that's awesome.
See,
You know,
I appreciate, like, when I have my streams, like, I totally understand it's sausage fest. It's cool. I mean, that's what it's all about. But I mean, that's awesome, man. And I like the way you connect with others on your stream. And, I hope your dog is doing well. The other one that hosts your streams, right?
yeah, he's great. He's over there. So
Guys, if you guys have a chance, please check out his last broadcast, because sometimes when Red's busy with life, he has his partner in crime, a man's best friend, hosting the stream, and definitely check that out. And Tater could vouch for you with what we're talking about. Definitely. I hear you're a good dancer.
yeah, he like I said, everybody, we talk about certain things on Twitch, and sometimes we kind of amp ourselves up to be a little bit more than we are. I like to bring it down so you don't expect much. So then all of a sudden you see this dude doing all this stuff, is taller than you expect, and it just kind of blows your mind, because I feel that if you could stay humble but still show a level of inspiration
Yeah.
and greatness to people,
Yeah.
that's pretty damn awesome. Because that's going to infect them positively,
Yeah.
and they're going to go do awesome things.
Yeah.
I hate to go back to the man, but he's right there in the channel. Tater, again, shy guy. You necessarily wouldn't think that he is, but on the dance floor, to get a huge group of people together, form a circle and start doing the crab people dance. That's what we call it.
Can I want to see your version of the crab dance, if you don't mind doing that for camera?
I barely remember what it was, but they were just doing all this sort of weird stuff with their hands.
This is the clip I will use for the Twitter feed. This is the clip I will right here, dude.
Please do.
Yeah,
Please do.
that's awesome. dude,
you know.
what is your take on what Twitch is all about now? Like, what's your stance on it? Do you like the way Twitch is right now? Do you like the way, you know, like when you see other people's streams, which I know pretty much you do and stuff. Do you like what you're seeing right now as a content material from everybody?
You know, right now, um, I'm trying to broaden who and what I look at.
Yeah,
Um, for a while, you kind of stick to the games that you're interested in, or maybe you just kind of follow the popular type of scene. Um, really been that person. I like to go find people who are honestly enjoying what they're doing, and maybe we have like this sort of same similar approach and outlook on things. And those are the people that I'm like, I got to bring them into my group. I got to
yeah,
get them here and elevate them with the other people around me, because you just never know what they're going to do and
yeah,
how they're going to lead to a level of success.
yeah.
And so that's what I've always found myself doing. Is perfect example was Surface a lot. You might not have known him very well, but
Ooh,
I was big into playing Smite for a while. And one night I was done streaming and I was looking for somebody to host, and I'm like, yeah, I could host a popular person and get a thank you and hope that they remember that I do that, or I could scroll down a little bit. Hey, there's like two people in this person's channel. This person looks like they're having a good time. Let's sit in for a second.
yeah,
Okay. All right. Yeah. And then you host them. And then all of a sudden you now have could call a friend.
yeah,
And, I'm looking for true viewers, you
mhm,
know, and people don't necessarily understand what a true viewer is. And for those that don't, a true viewer is someone that comes back
yeah,
night after night, day after day, expects nothing from you, but just wants to be there. Um, and I keep, I'm watching these people who are shooting for partnership, and I go, you don't necessarily have to be partnered to
true.
get what you want right now. The sub button. If you don't have the community and the people and the retention,
Yeah,
you're not going to get anywhere. You need those people to come back and hang out. Yeah, I just reached 800 followers. Yay. There isn't 800 people in my channel, but
mm,
there is 30 something people who I appreciate that come back into the channel when they have time.
I totally agree. Like your follower count does not make you what you are. It's the people that hang out all the time. I agree. That was one thing that I also thought to myself, like I could have as many followers as I want. It's really crap. It's really shit if no one's there. It's doesn't
Yep,
matter. It's
exactly.
what the hell's the point? So
Right. Yeah.
so yeah, I like your stats on it. It's very true. You got wise words there, man. It's
Thanks,
um
man.
thanks, man.
It's an insight.
A very
Yeah.
very good insight, man. And
Yeah.
I don't know what do you want to do with
Give me
your
a second.
channel? Go for it, dude.
I just gotta. It's my wonderful watch of doom. It's
All right.
always, hey, it's time to feed the dog. No, you're good.
That's awesome, man. That is awesome. Like,
But I'm sorry, you were saying.
oh man, no, this is a great conversation right now. So like what do you like doing the most on your channel? Are you more like doing a variety guy? I know you do creative as well.
Yes.
What do you enjoy most about presenting content to your viewers? What do you like about it?
I think you ever look at someone when they write a word, and I know that sounds kind of weird, but we all know how to write,
Yeah,
but how we approach it is completely different sometimes from one another.
yeah,
And what I mean by that is, I looked at a little girl who came into when I was working at Funkoland back in the day, and she came in and she was writing, and she wrote the letter E. Now, when I write an E, I start from the middle, and then I sort of make that sort of arch, and you've got that
yeah,
curve thing.
yeah,
When she did her E, it was almost like she was drawing it. She drew like half of a circle and then did the inside and then put the tail at the end.
Yeah.
And I said, man, isn't that interesting that this is the same, it's just an E, the letter E, yet we can find so many different ways of doing this.
Yeah.
Now, relate this to streaming, we all have access to the same games that are out there, but how we approach playing that game is
Mm-hmm.
completely different. For
Mm-hmm.
me, I think I'm a little bit more of a logical person. So one of my biggest games that I love talking the most through is Darkest Dungeon,
Yeah.
and um, I felt that I played that game a lot differently than everybody else because most of the people that I would see play that game were just going headstrong in it, and they were just raging beyond like anything ever I've ever seen. I've got people busting their keyboards and just
Oh.
losing it. And while some of that stuff is for views, I get it. Um, I just wanted to be like the charming man with the scotch in his hand that was like, yes, quite. We're going to approach this dungeon here from this perspective. You know,
That's awesome.
and
That is awesome.
and just be that smooth guy that you're just like, yeah, I get it. I like how this guy is doing this thing, you know. And yeah, you fail, but you at least own up to it and you don't freak out. I mean, emotions and you want to like yell and stuff like that, but there are plenty of other streamers that you can watch if you would like to see someone flip out and bust stuff and whatever.
You know,
So
it's amazing that's what people kind of try to do. Oh, like for instance, trolls love that. Troll. I take it you don't get as many trolls as like probably we do. Do you get trolls in your channel though? Do you?
you know what? To be very, very honest, and I want to thank my mods for this. I
Awesome.
don't get a lot of trolls in my channel. I honestly don't. Because I was getting some angry people when I was playing Dead by Daylight.
Yeah.
Now, that game brought in some very, very angry people in the channel, but it was great because I 100 was constantly talking while I'm playing this game. So a channel points for when people would come in and freak out on us because I'm like, this dude's gonna get pissed and come into the channel and say something. And we would predict this to happen.
Yeah.
And they would. And they'd come in and they would get all upset and yell out. And I'm like, go back and look at the VOD for like 2 minutes from just now. This is before clips existed.
Yeah.
Uh, existed, it would be even more just total icing on the cake. But
Yeah.
I'm like, while I'm playing, I'm telling my audience what to expect and what I'm doing and what I'm not doing. And people would come in and they would just get angry because they thought I was camping them or doing something. And I'm like, well, if you actually watch from the previous just 2 minutes ago, I told my audience that I'm going to move around here to get out of the way so that I'm not camping and complaining, so that you could try to escape off your hook and do whatever.
Yeah.
Was really the only animosity of people that I would get,
Mm-hmm.
coming in was people from that game. And then after a while, once they saw you, once
Hello.
Hello. Oh, did we lose him?
Uh-oh. We might have
I
lost
think we
him.
lost him.
There you go.
There he is.
oh, I'm gonna try. I didn't change anything.
You were on a freeze frame for a bit. We're like, what? He has.
Yeah.
So you were at the part where
Yeah,
you said you were like running around telling people what you were gonna do. You know.
Yep.
And
Yeah.
then
I was just letting my audience know, and so that when anyone would come in and complain about it,
yeah.
it's like, no, man, he just admitted that he wasn't gonna do this, and we saw it in the stream.
Mm-hmm.
So the fact that you're coming in and complaining about it just, it just shows your immaturity at the end of the day.
Yeah,
So.
tell me that's half the people on Twitch, dude. I'm not nothing surprises me anymore. Nothing surprises me. What games are you looking forward to, by the way?
As of right now, I know this sounds weird for me, but I am very excited for Resident Evil 7. That comes out today. I know you'll be doing a show on that, I hope.
Technically I should be at GameStop to pick it up right now, but you know what? I'm gonna, yeah, usually like here in the West Coast, we can pick it up right now. Technically I can. I do have a pre-order, but I'm like, you know what? It's cold outside. It's, it's like, And then I do have the VR stuff.
My goodness.
See, the thing is, doing VR is tough because I can't read chat for one thing, so I'm talking nonstop, trying to keep it entertaining while, people might be typing at me or cussing me out, whatnot. I wouldn't know. But then like I have to like every now and then get off the headset, read chat, answer questions, blah blah blah, get back on. Then I
Yeah.
it's fun. VR's fun to a certain extent. It's we could like answer chat live and stuff, but it's something different. I think people just want to see what we look like with those headsets and how funny we look. Like yeah, we look stupid. Oh yeah, like we were doing what Job Simulator. Remember that? Wait, were you
nice.
here? Yeah, we did Job Simulator. It's like,
Yeah, I
oh
remember that.
hey, this is how to. I'm virtually typing on a keyboard in which I could just do it right now live. So
Right.
it's like, but yeah, like gaming wise. So Resident Evil. Is there anything else you're also looking forward to?
Um, right now, no, just any and everything really. Resident Evil is like the next big thing. Maybe Tekken 7 finally being released on
Oh.
some sort of console or PC. But I'm kind of a jack of all trades. I really do enjoy a lot of different games,
Yeah.
especially strategic games and such. So it's really anything that it's like a part of me. So
Mm-hmm.
there's some that new Double Dragon looks pretty cool, and
Double Dragon 4, right? Is it 4?
Double Dragon 4. Maybe you and I could play through that. That would be
I
kinda fun.
know you and me would probably understand all about Double Dragon. No one else would. It's like I play these games and everyone's like, "What's this?" I'm like, "Oh, you guys weren't around then."
Right.
Guys, I invite chat also to ask any questions you would like. If you want to ask Red anything and stuff. I wish I could have got you on earlier in the day. Oh, you got one. Go for it, Matt.
Yeah, I've actually been kind of waiting for you.
I'm
'cause you kept-
sorry.
It's
Oh
fine.
God, you're so weird.
I believe it was you, Red, that brought up this question on the last Modcast. If you had to choose a tagline, what would your tagline be?
Well, actually,
Oh.
I do have a tagline. I have my own tagline that I have developed for the past year of doing this stuff. So, with being as positive as possible, at the end of all my streams, I always say, "Getting to my heart, from here to there, to outside of the world, to you. So, from here to there, be righteous everywhere. So, no matter where you are, where you go, be the best you that you can be. There's enough bad guys in the world. I play a bad guy at my work just because I work up around a bunch of women and they're all those the good guys. So I play a bad guy at work. So I get to be myself when I do this, and that's been my tagline since I've been doing that stuff, and it just seemed to stick. You know, one of the flattering things I think about is, man, one day it'd be so awesome just to hear people say that to one another, or just as you're ending a speech and you say it to everybody, and everybody in the audience is saying it. Just that, it's just one of those things you think about, because I just want to send a positive message at the end of the day.
I like it.
I like
Thank
it. I like it. What, Matt? What was your tagline? Did you have a tagline from the
That's
last
a
one?
pretty good one.
Yeah.
I did. It's be the spark that lights the fuse.
That's
not the
it,
person.
yep.
who puts it out.
That's it. Wow. Do you end your streams with that tagline?
Going to.
You should. That's
Once
what.
I start again,
Sir.
I have to get settled again.
Oh, so Red, what do you have for? What words can you say for people that are starting off streaming games or whatnot?
I think when you're just starting, always keep talking. And I know that's probably the hardest thing to do, because why would you talk when there's nobody in your channel to talk to? But that's just it. You never know who is actually lurking, who just happened to pop in for like a microsecond and see what's going on. Even if you're just maybe telling a small story about something about yourself, or you're just reading the words and writing, going along with whatever it is you're playing. Be interactive. Be the you that you might have problems being when the camera is not on.
Yeah.
Because Twitch is a great outlet for very introverted people, people who might not be as socially accepted as they would like to be.
Yeah.
This is your medium. This is our medium that we can use to overcome these sort of problems. So, you know, don't go on like a soapbox type of tangent and whatever, but be engaging, be welcoming, acknowledge the people that talk in your channel, acknowledge what they're saying, even if it's a as long as you can reply without stooping down to their level,
Yeah.
just doing that'd be the best way to start, and just kind of see what happens as time goes on. Just don't deviate from who you are at the end of the day, because that's why people come into your channel, is to see who you are, because you're eventually going to attract the people.
Yeah.
It's always just a matter of time.
That's good. That is excellent words for people starting off.
I
Thank you, sir.
I
What
can agree with that. I actually struggle with that.
do you struggle with that
Starting
really?
I
Talk
do.
to us, Matt. We are your intervention. Speak to
Yeah, Matt,
us.
why do you struggle with that?
I can't talk to myself. I find it so weird. So I'll go back and I'll rewatch my stream and it's just silent and I'm like, this is awkward. I need to start talking.
It
But
is at
I
first,
can agree with that.
but you got to realize too, when you stream, it is a kind of like putting a show. And when you watch shows, and okay, someone comes in the stream like Red said, right? And they see a game, but it's quiet. What makes me want to stay in this channel, right?
That's a good point.
Like,
Or you could be like me and like your last past two streams, you forgot to turn on your mic.
did I?
Oh,
Did I?
really?
Did I forget to turn on my mic? Did I?
No, me.
Oh,
No,
you.
I'm talking about
Oh,
myself.
shoot. Oh,
I ended,
crap.
I ended up deleting them because they had no audio.
No, man. I would have wanted to see that. It's like,
Yeah,
why is he mute
no,
for the
it's
first 5 minutes? What the hell?
really embarrassing. Recording a video where I was talking and I was like, oh, I guess not.
It's always
Yeah.
good to do that test stream, right before you go live.
Oh,
If you're using OBS, just do that like quick test, or even just load up the dashboard
yeah.
and just listen to see what's going on as well. I since they redid the dashboard, I keep mine on very very low volume, but also I put it on quality, which is
Yeah.
like the crappiest quality ever.
Yeah.
And so it still allows me to kind of just listen, monitor to make sure things are okay.
Yeah. Yeah. That's, yeah, the first couple streams when you're, yeah, like you said, you're messing around with the OBS. First of all, some people's cameras are on a delay depending on this and that. That sucks. I remember I was using an Elgato before. Now I got a, as you know, I do a lot of console gaming and I got a capture card that I use, which it runs off USB 3.0. So luckily it's fast enough that it just syncs well. That's kind of like why I love that. But yeah, man. But I want to thank, or I want to, all the people that are just coming in chat or in chat right now. We are interviewing Red 5 Drifter, a great streamer, one of my buddies from TwitchCon and buddies here in life. And we're discussing, the problems. Somehow we ended up drifting off to the problems of streaming. And have you ever had this problem where you press OBS and you start the stream, right? And you look at your channel and you're not even on. Like, what the? So you go on for like 10, 15 minutes, check your channel for some reason, and you're like, oh, it's still on your not even live page.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
I've seen that before. It has something to do with Twitch. It's not necessarily you per se.
Yeah. Yeah.
Something
Like,
that you gotta pay attention to every now and again.
yeah. Oh man, dude. And you said yourself that you were planning to do a little drawing class. Is this real or no?
Okay. Yeah. So I've been thinking about this for the past week now. And I was thinking, if people were honestly interested in learning how to personally do my art, I'd be happy to do like a 4-part class where it starts from, as long as you have your initial sketch.
Yeah.
It doesn't need to be a fully fleshed out drawing or anything, but it starts off with a sketch that is brought in to Photoshop, and then I teach you how to use the pen tool, which is one of the most intimidating tools in Photoshop. teach you how to use the pen tool so that you can ink your line art
Yeah.
so that it looks, super high quality. And then, granted, it's not Illustrator quality, but me and Illustrator don't get along, so I don't use it.
Oh, that Illustrator's hard. Yeah, I took a class in that
Illustrator is like the
before.
rich people's program. I just Photoshop.
Yeah, dude. Like for myself, I use this program called GIMP.
Oh yeah, yep. That's as they call it on the internet, it is the poor man's Photoshop.
Yeah, and it works fine. It's
Yep.
just, it is great.
It is a good program for what you get. Absolutely.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's what I wanted to do, was to do a 4-part class, go from line art to inking to basic cell shading coloring, and then putting it all together at
Mhm.
the end. And so that was kind of what I was going to do, and then have them available on Twitch so that you can, if you missed it and you weren't here, you can see that there.
That's awesome, man. Is there any other mediums that you stream on besides Twitch? Are you a YouTube guy? Do you do Beam? How?
Yeah, so I've got a Beam account, I've got a YouTube account. There's a website that I have to remember the name, but if you log into it, create an account there.
Yeah.
When you start to stream, you can basically stream it on any other platform that you have an account to.
Mm.
At one point, I was literally streaming on Twitch, Beam, YouTube, all at the same time.
And it can work like that.
And it works just like that, just from that website, and including that website. So that was the fourth one. So,
Wow.
but the big thing is you have to then open up smaller windows everywhere, because you're like, I gotta pay attention to the Beam chat,
Oh
I
my
gotta pay
God.
attention to the YouTube chat, and just hope that everything is there for you.
That's a pain. Yeah, I just hope everything's there. Matt, do you have any other questions for him?
No, not at this moment. I can't think of any.
Okay.
I have a question for you, Matt.
Ah.
Okay.
Oh no, don't be sorry.
Ask,
So
ask away.
this would basically extend to you, Mop, because I think you have an idea
Okay.
as well. So you guys had asked me earlier about what it is I was hoping to do. What are you guys hoping to, and be just brutally honest, because I think that's the only way we can kind of figure out how we want to go with this. But what do you guys want doing this? Dedicating your time and energy to doing this. What is it you really, really want?
Good question. I'll have Matt answer first. You're the beginners.
Oh, you're gonna throw.
Throw
me
you
under
under
the
the
bus, I bet? Okay.
bus. Yeah.
Honestly, I'm not really looking to do anything. I don't have any purpose, and I'm not trying to get people to do anything. I just kind of want to do this because I saw some people streaming, and I was like, hey, that looks like a lot of fun. I want to play games with my friends, and I want to stream it, because if I'm having fun, why can't other people have fun watching us? We're being stupid. It's funny. So I do it just because I think it's fun. Have a goal, an end goal. and
Okay, you
that's
don't
it
have
right
like an
now.
ulterior motive. As they
Yeah,
would say.
no. Right now it's just a hobby. It's
Yeah.
just for fun.
That's true. For myself, well, I did not know I was gonna really get this deep into streaming, because as I probably mentioned this before, I started off doing this as a fundraiser for the St. Jude's Play Live campaign. Actually, that's where I got this jacket. Actually, I don't know if no, it's a
I'm
St.
so
Jude's.
jealous of that.
Oh man, you'll get one once we start our campaign again. The thing is, for that, to get the jacket, you have to raise at least $500, at least
yeah.
in that thing. But
It's
what?
such a nice purple in relation to the ones they sold at TwitchCon. That's like a royal purple.
Oh,
The one they
thank
had at TwitchCon is it's like a lilac purple.
lilac.
Yeah,
It was.
No, I'm looking at it right now.
I don't think
You can see the difference hugely.
Dude, you're right.
I'm sorry,
Yeah.
I don't see a difference in purple. Purple is beautiful either way.
You know,
No, it's fine, but I can guarantee you that if I bring this over and I show you the color of this, you'll see there's a huge difference between his purple and the purple that we got on the first TwitchCon.
Oh man, it's weird because well, guys, when we do this podcast, we're actually using two different cameras. what you guys see on the channel is not the camera that they see me, right? You guys see me, you guys see my bed totally, right? And
Yeah.
if you guys watch the channel, you guys see a different angle, right? And it's more light toward me. So if you see what they see, they kind of see the purple. It's a little darker than the light shining onto it. It's kind of different, but yeah, I to be honest, I did like some of the merch at TwitchCon, but I thought, wow, it's not any better than other stuff. Like, you know what I mean? It's like I could go to eBay or whatever and do something like that. Speed Mobile says he wants to inform people about things about with games. He wants to do a segment where he fixes old game consoles and show how easy it can be in certain cases, which that would be a great segment, I think.
That definitely would. You are providing a service for people, and it's a unique service.
Yeah.
So that is definitely awesome, sir.
Yeah, that is. Maybe we could have him on the show. Maybe I think this could spawn into something else. Like, oh, besides, I'm. Let me get into your answer for the question you asked. Like, well, yeah, I got into doing this for fundraising, but I got hooked. I wanted to do more live broadcasting content. How this podcast came out, I don't know, because I listen to podcasts as well. So I just wanted to do more entertaining stuff. Like when I learned more about how OBS ran or the amazing things you could do when there's a new follower, all the little, awesome little nitpicky things that could add to your channel looks cool. I thought, this makes it look like a legit channel, but let's do something that is hard for other people to do and be entertaining. And not to the point where I'm just sitting there playing games staring at the screen, more of the interaction and stuff. And I started meeting cool people, more cool folks like you guys. And then, yeah, you get your share of trolls, but the community is what stayed. And like you said, you want to have that core people that it's kind of like hanging out with friends. And these friends understand what I do, what streaming's all about, what gaming's all about, how we to react to things. And they won't look down on me on it. I know regular friends probably see me when I put things up on Facebook and wonder, what the fuck is this guy doing? This guy just plays games. It's all. What kind of things that? They don't understand. They don't understand the culture of it. You guys understand the culture. I wanted more of that community that I could relate with. I could actually talk to you guys about it. They understand. So if you ask me, I wanted the bonding with the people, the groups, the friends, the real friends that know what's up, because it's just common ground that we do this thing on this platform, and it's great. It's just, it makes things great in perspective. This, if it wasn't for that, we wouldn't be doing this right now. Us strangers that's never met one another. Well, maybe you and me, Red. But Matt, we hooked up probably like 2 months ago or something on some stream of Somewhat, but he understands. He started streaming.
3.
What was it? Was it 3 months? Is it our anniversary? Happy anniversary, baby. Yeah, that's what I kind of just strive for. But I mean, yeah, if it comes with it, if it gets big or not, whatever, we all have jobs as well. So, but yeah, I think my goal is to start a brand new streaming group that, now we have a bigger group of friends. Why not make a new group that is more unified with everybody, See, as Tater said right here, I was reading chat, his reason is to build the greatest, friendliest, and funniest community on Twitch, which is
That's
awesome.
a lie, by the way.
That's a lie.
I'll call him out on that. I'll tell you this right now. After party at TwitchCon last, and everybody was all fancy getting into this area in the stadium, and we're passing by and we see all these, for the lack of a better way of explaining it, super high class people, and they're all standing in there dressed and looking fancy and whatnot. And he looks over to me, and here we are, just kind of mingling amongst everyone else, and he goes, "You know what, Red? next year, next year, my goal is to get us in there. That's where we're gonna be. This is what I'm doing it for. This moment of us staring in there, looking down on those peasants and being like, yeah, what now, bitches? That's actually trying to do. Don't let him fool you. See, there it is. There it is, right there. Me and
Box
him.
seats.
Box
That's awesome. Speed Mobile says there's a sense of style that individuals can give when they're playing games with people watching. That feeling of being in charge of your own show is exciting. That is another true thing. That is true, man.
Yep.
Right?
And I had covered that earlier when I talked about, the letter E. We can all do it differently, but the letter E is a universal thing. That's exactly what he's putting into words right there. Sense of style that individuals bring to this. So, and I think we all have our own style of how we do things, but the underlying aspect is that, and we enjoy watching each other play games, and it just makes us want to play games more. And then because we're all cool with each other, why don't we play games together? Because you get me, I get you. This guy doesn't get me because he thinks, I'm wasting my time. I should be doing something else, But this is a big culture now. It's not as taboo as it used to be.
Yeah. Can you explain to the crowd what the culture is exactly? Well, I get my bottled water. Go right
Oh,
ahead.
sure. I guess for me personally, how I look at the gaming culture is something has truly changed back in the day where we're trying to include people in there. Yes, there are still some people fighting to keep women out, and I get where they're coming from. And there's a part of me, and I'm being very honest when I say this to you, there's a part that is jaded by certain women that have exploited their sexuality, and just the fact that they're females to get ahead in life using a medium that they, and I speak broadly when I say this, that they have used to put men down back in the day. And let me clarify this for everyone that might be wondering what I'm talking about. I can guarantee you back in the late 90s, from the 90s all the way till about mid 2000, that when they would hear that you played video games, they wanted nothing to do with you. They were like, "Oh, you play games? Oh, you play World of Warcraft? What?" That was the perception that a lot of guys got from women back then. And recently we started seeing these like gamer girls who were like, "Oh my gosh, I play Halo, I play this," getting into the popular things that guys were doing and utilizing that to ascend them and push them forward. Now, am I saying all women are like that? Not at all, because there are actually really good, honest to God women that love to play video games, and they love the people that interact with them, and you can tell the difference between the two.
Yeah.
There is a huge difference.
Oh yeah.
For example, Norina is a woman that loves to play video games, and she loves to share what she can create with people. She is never rude on her stream. She does not expose herself in any way, but she's always very informative, and she is real. How she acts and how she reacts while she's playing games, that to me is enjoyable to watch. And so that culture of being with people like that, as opposed to people that are using the culture to ascend them further than the average person. And people do that all the time in music. I mean, we've been, people exploit each other's theme of music, whatever. I mean, that's another topic, but it's something that happens. And so at the end of the day, the gaming culture wants to be one of those things that you can all be a part of. And I hate to say this because I'm not a big fan of Nintendo. You know me and Nintendo. It's like, whatever. It's
Wait, do
Nintendo.
you? Wait,
But-
what about Nintendo? I want to know about this.
oh,
Don't trigger Mark.
Nintendo to me, it's just like, end of the day, they've kind of just dogged everybody with their, especially their third party developers for so long that
Oh,
I
okay.
just kind of lost respect for them. So, but one of the biggest things that you can always tell from Nintendo was that they cared about playing together. They tried to uniform and unify everyone to be together, play together, and have a good time together. So
Mm.
that's the culture that I would like this culture to keep growing towards.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. Yeah, and when you brought up the women, streaming, getting into the trend, or actually doing gaming that love, women. Okay, women that truly enjoy games versus women that just stream games to get attention. What you guys do see that, right? Like,
Oh yeah, there's a
I
difference.
right. Just because the fact that there's women that stream that they'll basically stream naked basically just to get attention. That pisses me off. Yeah, a lot of it they're kind of drifting to Twitch now, and there's starting to be a lot more of those. I mean, a lot of them are like front page sometimes. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now there are a few that were purely satire, like Stacy Tron. She knew what she was doing, and she's not stupid. She's
Mhm.
not stupid at all. She used that satire to elevate her up over everyone else and basically troll the trolls that were trying to troll her. And for me, I respect that woman because she did that. Um, Now there is quite a lot of other ladies. Heck, there was one gal that they called out because she ended her stream and then began masturbating on her camera, and
Did
her stream was still live during that time.
did she
That's
forget?
not. Oh no, no, she did
Whoa.
not forget. That was done on purpose. It was all a business choice because that moment elevated her up hugely.
And perma ban on Twitch?
I don't know if she got permaban. I'm not sure what her story is now, but people know who she is now. That's the biggest thing.
Oh my
And
god.
so what that sort of leads to for her, while that's not the best way about going things, but at the moment, that's what she did. She used that to get her there for people. They know who she was now, you know. So
Oh my gosh.
crazy.
Did she get confused with Chatterbait? Did she think she was on something else? Did someone give her coins because she was on live what's it called? I forgot. What's the name of
Yeah,
that other
I think
side?
you got it. I think
Yeah,
you
you
got it.
guys get the gist of it. It's disgusting. You're right, Mike. But that's the price they pay to getting popular or getting partnered by Twitch, because they know if you get partnered by Twitch, if you have the followers and the viewers, and each one paid $4.99, they paid you
Yep.
like a monthly, dude. You're pretty much set. That's crazy.
Exactly.
Oh,
And she wasn't the only one. There's legendary Leah, who that chick made like a a habit of not wearing underwear and bending over on the camera at certain times.
wow, really?
Uh,
What the hell?
If you
or
go on
like that other
YouTube,
one.
video of like all these epic fail moments and stuff, yeah, she's one of them that did that. And so you want to sit here and say that maybe I'm an angry male. I am not angry whatsoever, but doing stuff like that really hurts the good women trying to share their passion and their love with both men and women, and that makes it harder for them because now they're getting labeled like that, and that sucks because that's not what I want. I want women who are truly trying to push forward and succeed because they're being themselves, and they are sharing the games that we all like to play.
I don't. I just don't
So
get it. A
I'm
society's
bored.
changed. Yeah, right. Society's just changed.
Um, her name was something Burger
Ham,
Dream.
Um,
hamburger. I don't know.
No, it's not that. But she would literally just twerk on stream
yep.
every time it would end a game, and it's ridiculous. I don't understand why they do that.
You know,
Right?
It's oh,
okay.
It's about sharing games, sharing fun with friends. It's not about shaking your ass for people. Like,
Exactly.
you want to do that? Work in a strip club.
Right.
Exactly. Right. So,
There are other sites that you could do that on. You
There
know,
are other sites you can
there
do
for
that on.
that
you
for
know,
that reason.
just for
Uh,
just for this alone, I'm gonna announce that before I stream for all the rest of my streams, I will announce that I'm not wearing underwear. Let's see if they start coming in. Hopefully, automatic partnership. Bam! There we go.
so that brings me to the thoughts of the partnership thing. So um, for people, sometimes it does not. It backfires, and so um, I will say this though: Twitch definitely has stepped up in what they're doing on uh, allowing people to be partnered, because before you could put somebody's name as a like recommendation or referral,
Mm-hmm.
and now that's no longer there because of how many people were abusing
Oh yeah, yeah,
that
definitely.
stance on it. So, and I have to admit that I haven't seen as many uh, scantily clad people on channels, whether it be guys or girls. So I think it's definitely working. You know, what's
Mm-hmm.
up, Ian? How you doing, brother?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's true, man. I just hope we don't see any more an increase of that going on. But I mean, it sells. It's just it's hard to admit, but yeah, it is easier to be a girl, a lady, a female streamer per se than being a male streamer, unless you are really popular or you're connected or it's like
Or
it's
you have a
just
sexy voice like Red.
dude.
You know,
I'm telling you,
It's me.
Red's voice will get you places, man. It will get you places. I'm looking forward to that one night show that, dude, I will help you with that. We all could plan this. It's called, what'd you call it?
We'll make it Love Line.
Love Line featuring Red 5 Drifter and friends. That would be
I'll
sick.
do, yeah,
Guys,
we'll have you
dude.
guys on. You could be the co-host as well.
Oh, dude.
Have,
Chat. If you guys want to see a show like that from Red, give us a kappa. We will get a confirmation from the people. Oh man, this has been a great talk, man. It's been awesome. Where can the folks find you? Tell us where they can find you through social media or whatnot.
Gotcha. Well, if you have the Twitter, it's Red5 Drifter. Well, as Instagram, same thing. Facebook, same thing. Gmail, if you're ever so inclined, same thing.
Mm-hmm.
I try to make it as easy as possible so that sort of medium that you're using, there should be my name there, and that should be me. I hope anyway.
Mm-hmm.
So there's that. We also have our Discord that you can come in and hang out if you ever need, if you ever need just even a shoulder. We do that and talk with you at any time because that's
Awesome.
what we're here for is that that interaction at the end of the day. I don't want to just talk the talk.
Yeah.
I want to be able to back up and walk the walk as well, and be that for that person because sometimes we always need those people in our lives.
Definitely. And I believe you can back it up. Definitely. That's for sure. Killer Spark, where can the people find you?
I am also on Twitter, although I rarely use it. But that's how you can get a hold of me. Me too. On Twitch, occasionally streaming. I'm gonna try and get back to a schedule.
Right on.
It's just I
You
started
better,
school
sir.
again.
I want to
Another
go down and
semester.
enjoy your show.
Don't forget to turn on the
Hopefully
mic,
my
too.
mic is on.
Yeah, your mic
Yeah.
should be on.
The only two social media I have for my. But yeah.
All right. Well, guys, that's probably going to be it for the podcast / Modcast. I want to thank Red 5 Drifter for taking the time to hang out with us. I want to thank Killer Spark 8, my cohort as usual. And guys, I don't know if any of these guys are going to be streaming soon, but I want to thank all you guys, and it'd be nice to give them a follow. And yeah, man, they will entertain you guys like no tomorrow. So, guys, thanks for tuning in. You guys all have a good night, and we will see you later. You have just watched episode 20 of the Modcast. Good night,
sir.
everybody.
That's awesome. Thanks for having me, man. I definitely appreciate it.